Well, my adventure starts now. I'm on the boat to Dieppe. I'm going to go around different bits of Normandy. I'm going to be camping, looking forward to that. Don't know what the campsite's going to be like when I get there, but I'm not just going to charge along the coast like everybody does and sees the different war bits. I'm going to pull into lots of little bays and harbours. I'm just going to have it as a little toury, see what's there, and I'm going to do what a lot of people don't do. I'm going to go south, perhaps find the River Seine, go along that for a bit, and just generally have a look at some of their bits of outstanding beauty. Their lovely little villages, towns in France. I'm going to make the most of it. I can't wait to get the tent up today. Worst bit is 4 hours on here, but it gets you to where I want to go, and it's not expensive. The campsites over in France are a lot cheaper than in England, so the saving on the campsites pays for the ferry, so it's a win. And being as I live so near this ferry and it's so easy to get on, I think that once I get over there I'll find that may be the future for me, to do a lot of touring over there. Because if I do each bit quite comprehensively, then come back, do another bit quite comprehensively, I'll see far more than if I just whiz from one end to the other along the coast. There seems a lot of like Tudor places round here where my campsite is. But this is absolutely beautiful. It's a job to know where some of the speed limits start and finish. I think you just have to rely on when you leave a village you can go faster, and when you're like this line through it, and then as you go in it you have to slow down. I haven't seen many road markings for speed. Interesting stuff. This is just so beautiful. One half of the site is all either static caravans or park homes, and they put all these beautiful plants all along the side of this little river that's running beside me. It shows you what you can do to make something totally idyllic. Now I'm set up, my tent's over there, a few people fishing in the distance. There's a whole load of lakes here, but as you can see it's very quiet, very quiet. People just camp round the different lakes. There's even a small lake for littlands to fish in with small fish to keep them happy. What a beautiful sight this is. I've got to be honest that last night I got in, set up, had something to eat and had a bit of a chill time. This is first thing in the morning the next day. I'm off now to the River Seine. Hopefully find an old abbey to look round. It's quite a drive down there, or ride, but I don't mind that. I had my breakfast this morning with my table and chair just facing out. It was dead calm. You could see all the fish coming up taking insects. But that side is residential, and there's lakes all the way in a line here. What a beautiful sight to have found. Very pleased with it. It's nice coming at this time of year. It's not busy. I've put no toll roads into the sat-nav. I'm going all on little lazy roads, and I've not got to get anywhere quick, so I won't. Love their churches. They've got a lot of them out here. Absolutely loads of them. Everywhere's clean. Nice place to live. The morning mist hasn't yet burnt off, and I'm riding through a lot of French countryside. Absolutely beautiful. I've picked all the small roads just so I can soak up the scenery. Though it's a bit early, it's still fantastic. It's 16 degrees, so I can't complain. I think it's going to get warmer as each day progresses. So I've saved the better days for going along the coast and enjoying some of the views in different harbours. I'll see as many as I can in the time I've got. Couldn't go past it, there's just so many of them. And there's flowers on all of them, they all look nice. A tribute to them, they're not forgotten. Not over here anyway. Beautiful little square. Everything's kept nicely over here. I'm enjoying it so far. These have got to be Roman roads from back in the day. There's a lot of very straight roads in France. Unless they've got just such big fields, they can do straight roads. Whereas we have such little gnarly fields that our little roads go all over the place. Nearly every field I go past, which is huge, seems to have a tractor in it. This is such a big country with so much farming. It almost looks big enough to supply the whole of Europe. Most of these small roads I've been down have next to no traffic on. It's like I'm the only person riding about today. I've really enjoyed just being out here on my own. But I've noticed, and I expect many of you will have, when you go past farms, towns, they have like crucifixes everywhere. A very, very Christian country. I wonder how they feel about all these Muslims, immigrants now pouring into their country. They must find that a bit different to their culture, a bit like us. But these roads just pottering round here, beautiful. I go through thick wooded bits, I go through big open farmland. It's quite a way down here to the Seine, but I'm not worried how long it takes me to get to the river. As you can see, not bad gaffs around here. Now that overlooks the River Seine. Now, I've used the longitude and latitude, which is what they seem to use over here, which is a lot more accurate than our postcode that just takes you to a little area. So it's a complete and utter pain putting so many numbers in. But it has worked out very well because it's been accurate and it's got me exactly where I want it to go, so I can't really complain. It's got me right along the Seine. I can travel along this for quite a while and thoroughly enjoy it. And I'll stop and have a better look, perhaps take a few pictures as I do. But that is not a little river. It's amazing to think that down here by the River Seine, this was probably all undersea once. Because white cliffs, that's got to be all the old shellfish. A lot of bikes about. This seems like quite a pretty decent route. Now over there in the distance there's a cable ferry. All along here there's cable ferries to get you to the other side. I suppose you wouldn't get a car over there if there ain't a bridge, would you? Any other way. What a lovely little place to overlook the River Seine. That's insane. Have to keep dropping down. They've got a lot of 20-mile-an-hour limits here. It's a job to get it down to 20. But if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. Big old hills either side, or cliffs, call them what you like. Their speed limits go up and down, 20, 30, 70, 50. It's a job to keep your eye on what you're supposed to be doing when you're looking round. Now, over to the left, I'll be going past that ferry. I don't know if I'll get a good view or if there's anywhere to park to look at it. It'd be nice if there is. Looks like I'm going back down to 20 mile an hour. Oh good. Well, the tide must have changed because this must be tidal. It's ripping in so quick here. And that would make sense why they've got the cable ferries to keep them in position. I've just been loading that while I've been watching. Do you know, I've looked around this whole area. It's all very French for some reason. Now, I don't pronounce French words well at all, so I'm not going to do it. So when I go to anywhere, I'll stick what it is up the top, because that way you can follow the routes if you want to. But there's absolutely no way I can pronounce some of these words. It's not happening. I found a dear little lane up here that you can turn off and go all the way along the edge for quite a while to get to my abbey. I think that'll be better than hitting main roads. They're proud of their history here. They've got pictures of all their buildings, and not much has changed in all these years. The buildings look very similar, though the people would have come and gone. And it looks like there used to be an old paddle steamer going to and fro years ago. It's all this sort of thing stops you getting on, you know. I can't help myself. But Monet and all the rest of it did a lot of artwork down here. Loads of them did. I've really enjoyed just pottering around the Seine. It's a lovely valley. A lot of water. Imagine having these lovely houses just looking out on there. They've got the walls. I don't know if that's there for sea, like sea defence. Who knows? I've gone round quite a few roads and towns, and there's lots of people flying their flags in their gardens, patriotic, and we're not allowed to mess about like that in our own country when it's our king's flag. What's all this coming to? Some mile after mile along this River Seine. What a beautiful route. Seen lots of bikes. I think they all amble along this route. It's not too much traffic. You can't blame them. Looks like another ferry bit. Seen some very large boats go up here, so it's got to be deep. Beautiful little villages round here. Just enjoyed mooching around. I think I'm going to have to pick smaller loops in future. I tend to procrastinate too much. But there's so much to see if you've never been round here before. What amazes me is a lot of this is 20 and 30 kilometres an hour. And the locals don't even go that fast, and that's slow for us in the UK. And it's like when you go into a shop to buy something, there is no speed. It's like they've turned down the speed around here. I mean, I'm just about to get up to 30 mile an hour, and people don't even do it. It's most bizarre. Everybody seems to take so much time. There is no rush. It's not like the UK at all. It's quite a place. I look forward to walking around here. I googled it a long time ago. This was built way back. I'll put the dates up once I've had a look round. They went to a lot of trouble building this. And they wouldn't have had scaffolding or anything like that. Not at all. They raised it in the 17th century to put a library on the upper floor. The storeroom was in the 12th century. I suppose actually a Roman sort of time. But it goes back even further than that. There's a lot of people round the back with easels doing their artwork. These places need maintaining. You keep walking round, you keep finding more and more of it. This must have been huge back in the day. Absolutely huge. Because I think I'm in the middle of it here. Cool. Temperature dropped massively as I walked in here. Absolutely. Today was supposed to be a lot cloudier. Don't know where the clouds have gone, but I'm not too bothered. Big old pillars. Blooming high. And it looks like restoration work's going on, which I'm pleased to see. They take your money, you hope that they use it well. Lovely temperature in here. It's warm outside, especially the bike here. Some of these bits have been added on by the monks in the 13th century. You can see how they've restored a lot of this to its former glory, which is good to see. Whoever did that had a head for heights. Near the old bells chiming. I love these old places. How big they are. Sorry, it's not handheld, it's handheld. You can see how they put lead up there to help look after the top to stop aging. What's the most amazing bit is this end, in my opinion. I'll turn around and let you see it. I'll try and keep my hands still, which is not an easy job. That is a long way up to there. And then right up there. That is massively high. Massively high. And the stonework still looks in good condition, which is good. Huge place. Well, Saint Philpot, he's a Benedictine monk, and they all built it in 654, which is quite a long time ago. And it was quite a big place back in the day, as it was added to over the years. And it's good to see the restoration work going ahead. Pleased it is. If you like looking at old sites, you only have to look at me, you know. Well, I enjoyed looking around the old abbey. Now I'm going to go back a really big loop, no toll roads, hopefully not too many big roads, and just enjoy the countryside. However long it takes, even if I get back late, I've made my mind up, this is the route I want to do. Beautiful countryside, wind's got up, sorry if it sounds noisy. You see little herds of Frisian cows, they have dairy as well. Countless miles of just farmland. I'm far enough south, I think, that there's very little building down here, which makes it really pleasant. I've seen a lot of places with their old bricked up windows. wonder if they had that tax that we had years ago, where you were taxed if you had a lot of windows and they decided to shut a few up. Just loved riding around these little places. Not seen very big herds, just small groups, cows and bulls. They seem as peaceful as the French. Some of the houses look quite Georgian. That's a nice pile they got there. You can see a church in the distance. A lot of these roads have just got to be Roman. Got to be. I thought I'd show you this. Lots of little villages have these. They're like pizza dispensing machines. Because you're so rural and out the way, you can just pop over here any time if you live local and you've got a takeaway. Because this is such a big place, it'll be so long to get into anywhere big. Different, isn't it? But they're everywhere. Now I'm really confused about this. I rode past it and I wanted to have another look. Now the house caught my view because it's so attractive, which it is. But when I was going past, I caught this view. Now there's a river at the back and there's loads and loads of these. Now I wonder if that's fish farm, because it's not the sewage works or anything like that, because there's not all the other paraphernalia. It's not often you find a fish farm in the middle of the countryside. Most bizarre. I'll have another look. Something I can see from here. Might be able to. Do you reckon it's a fish farm? Well, I asked the old chap in my English, as I would, and made one of them sort of things, and he said we. So all those beds up that way are all fish farming. First time I've seen that. It's normally pens at sea or something else, but I suppose if they've got the river, they can bring fresh water through it all the time. Everywhere in France is attractive. Like they make an effort. The councils keeping the place tidy. Credit to the French, you know. Definitely. They've got something to be proud of.